You say that we're not supposed to be more like dogs, but if you're saying that when Jesus spoke about dogs, that he wasn't talking about the dogs, but he was describing the characteristics of certain men and making the comparison that they are like dogs.
When Jesus talking about dogs in the Bible, he's not talking about animals. He's talking about the characteristic of men that are like dogs.
So basically it's a metaphor, right? But what kind of dog would that be? Because what's being described in the Bible verses that you picked out for everybody to see is a certain kind of dog. Not a certain breed of dog, but a certain kind of dog. And the kind of dogs that were being used in the metaphors are basically scavengers. Those were the kind of dogs that would live throughout the cities and on the outskirts of the cities, because in order for them to survive, they had to depend mainly on the useless scraps that people threw out in the streets and on the dead carcasses that were being tossed out in the dumps. But for you to be able to sit there and say that all dogs being mentioned in the Bible, that they have the same degrading characteristics, I mean, you're way off the mark here.
Dog, that's an awesome video. God help us to be more like dogs. Are you crazy? God help us to be more like dogs? And you think that you've got the right spirit? There's a problem here, because when you read about the Bible verse, first of all, I understand dogs are beautiful creatures, but we are not to be more like dogs.
So let me ask you, Jonathan, what are the characteristics of being a shepherd? And since we're using metaphors here, wasn't Jesus the shepherd to the flock of sheep? To his flock of sheep?
What you have been doing, KTH, you could never prevent yourself to raise your voice against the spiritual rape from Jonathan Clay. You were not obedient. I think, you were not obedient to God in searching the scripture daily to see if those things are true. You say, God help us to be more like dogs. The scripture is saying about dogs that it's not something that you would want to be like. All the verses in the Bible about dogs, here they are. All the verses in the Bible about dogs, here they are. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day. And then it goes on. Matthew 7:6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs. Neither cast ye your pearls before swine. So dogs are also compared to swine.